Well, good evening, KingdomPreneurs. How are you today? We are on day 18 of our 30 days of pulling energy to create the space you desire and for your future. I always have to add that. And today, we're going to continue on our talk where we've been talking about you being that munificent kingdom capitalist financier capitalist. And we want to talk today, and I'm calling this part 2, because we're still talking about connecting with your soulmate clients and how do you go about doing that. Again, I am Satella DeVoe. I am a kingdompreneur, spiritual entrepreneur, and I work with spiritual entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs, seekers, and all those persons who are trying to connect with their truest and most authentic self. And I certainly can help you do that. Again, I'm talking about how do you pull that energy of your soulmate client and customers into your life. What you have to remember, as I said the day before, and I want to apologize because I did not post yesterday. I was really under the weather. If you've been watching these videos, you've seen I've been fighting with a cough here and a little bit of a cold. Yesterday, we have a saying in the Bahamas that, man, I got do right in. I was just feeling so awful, and I couldn't do it. And so I'm going to make up for it today, and you're going to get 2 for 1 today, because you're going to get day 18, and you're also going to get day 19. But in talking today, I said yesterday or the day previous to that you have to remember, first off, there are almost 9 billion, 8 point whatever billion people on this planet. So there's a chance that your soulmate clients and customers are there. I believe it's more than a chance that they're there. They're actually there. And what's happening is because there's so much information overload, you can Google and YouTube anything that you want to learn. And as I said the other day, not only can you YouTube and Google anything, the thing is, you don't want to be a part of the masses. By you being your true, highest, and authentic self, it begins to separate you out. And the uniqueness of who you are, you being you in the world, showing up and being seen. Stop hiding. Get out there and be yourself. You being you, and bringing that contribution of you being you into the world, into this space. Because there are people that are waiting to connect with you. Because they're looking for your frequency, they're looking for your vibration, they're looking for your signature, that energetic signature that's only you, that brings across this information. And it's no longer information, it becomes a conversation. It becomes an engagement. It becomes where that soul connection happens. And you know what I'm talking about. There are times when you might be in a room, you're invited to a party, and you come to the party, and you probably didn't even want to be there in the first place, but you felt obligated to go. And you kind of figure you know everybody who's going to be there, and you really didn't want to hang out with them. But you get there, and there actually happens to be somebody in the room, across the room, I don't know. But you connect with that person, and you end up spending half the night or all the night just talking and conversing with that person. That's a soul connection. And it happens with clients as well. And so, but what causes that? You two are vibing on the same frequency. And because your energetic vibration is a match, you ping off of each other and you say, wait a minute, woo, I feel something in here. Or I like the vibe that's on that person. And you begin to, you make eye contact and you start to talk, and this is how relationships are born. And relationships, you have all manner of relationships, right? So you have your soul-mate customer-client relationship. And that's what we're talking about here tonight, okay? And what happens, that is because at your core, You're no longer trying to be somebody else. You're being your highest and truest self, being you in the world, impacting the world as you. And that's significant and that's important. Yes? Now, there are three things I'm going to give you tonight that will help you to do this. First, you must, well, the three things are this. You assess yourself, not only your customer, your client customer, soulmate client customer, but most importantly, you have to assess you. What are you bringing to the table? What are you offering? Remember, I said the other night that what I bring to the table is I bring that engagement where I can help you dig deeper. I can help you take that deep subconscious dive. I can help you take that deep spiritual dive so that you can open up your soul scroll and find out what is your mission. What is that divine contract you made with the Creator to come into the universe and to come into the world and to be a particular thing or to produce a particular thing that's going to have great impact on the lives of other people. And then there's benefits of that to you. You know, one of the ways the Creator, Yahweh, used to say to me a long time ago, he says, listen, if you follow me, you're going to be explosive. And what's going to happen is my will is going to be done and great benefits to you. It's an exchange, yes? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to assess what it is that you have to offer, what it is that you bring as a contribution and a service. Remember, the munificent is that goodness, philanthropic, magnanimous, open-handed, liberal, kind, generous person in the earth that's always trying to have a win-win situation and circumstance. Yes? And so when you begin to assess what you bring to the table, and you put what you bring to the table out in the world, you being you, showing up and being seen as you, offering what you are, the essence of who you are. Because your soulmate client isn't a person that you're trying to sell a funnel to. Your soulmate client isn't, the person who walks on the car lot and you're trying to get them to buy it because you want to make a commission. Those are not the kind of people, if you're listening to me, those are not the kind of people that you want to connect with. You want to connect with heart-centered, mindful people who actually give two S's about what's going on in this world. They care about our environment. They care about the human capital that lives in this environment. It's so much more. It's so big, and this is why I said to you that in I believe it's Luke 16 and 24 or somewhere around there, where it says that the Creator Yahweh, it's his pleasure to give you and I the kingdom. And I told you that the kingdom is to rule, the realm, the reign, and the royalty of the Creator Yahweh. And what he says is that when you step into your brilliance, when you step into your authentic, truest, highest self, being you, showing up in the world, I've given you a rule, a realm, a reign, and royalty around that nobody else could show up in that space and be it authentically as you. Man, that's friggin' brilliant. I'm telling you. And so when you bring what you have, assess what you have to bring to the table, don't hide it, don't run away from it, because most of the time we have been made to feel, because it comes so naturally to us, because it comes, we don't have to think about it. You know this. And you know it because you're so good at it. It's your gift. And it's what's going to make your money. It's what's going to allow you to monetize it, so that when you service your client, soulmate client customers with it, you don't feel sleazy. You don't feel like some slime ball, creepy life insurance salesman or, and I'm not knocking them because I used to sell life insurance. I was a financial representative. I made good money too. And I want what you have to do is show up as that what you are brilliant at, your brilliant self showing up in the world, being you. And that's going to light up And people are going to hear the sincerity. They're going to hear the truthfulness. They're going to hear the authenticity. And they're going to say, you know what? I don't mind working with that person. I don't mind exchanging monetary funds with that person to help me get where I'm going. So assess you. And then the other thing I will add to that is be willing to say no to people. Don't chase the money, because you get back into that lower energetic vibration where you're selling out. We're talking about you operating from your highest space, your highest self in that space. Remember I spoke about your Nishima spirit? That's you. That's you talking to you. There's an angel that looks just like you. It's your Nishima spirit. And energetically, there's no ego in that representation of you in the spiritual world. And when you connect with your higher self in that realm, the things that need to come from you in reference to your soulmate clients and customers are just going to flow with such a level of integrity and authenticity that it's going to be attractive. Now, secondly, what I want you to do is to align. And what do I mean by to align? We can do the energy pulls, but you still have to take divine aligned actions. And what I want you to do when I say that you align, once you know you've assessed yourself and you know what it is that you're bringing to the table and what you're putting out there as an offer for people to work with you with, that you're bringing a contribution to be a service. And I always want you to come from the place of being a service to people, to bring assistance, not a martyr complex. This is why I say you don't work with everybody, because that gets yucky. You get into the negative thing and you don't want to do it. Because sometimes people really don't want to do the work. They want you to do it for them. And this is why I said I resonate more as a facilitator than as, a coach, because I don't want to be a coach. I want to have these engagements. I want to have these conversations where the aha moment happens and the light comes on, as it were. When you get into the alignment, you know what it is that you are offering. And because you know what you're offering, then you now know what the fix is to what you're offering. And once you know what the fix is, that's what they're going to resonate with. They're going to say, that's my issue. That's my problem. People who are listening to me, they want to be in the world, and they want to show up, but they're having trouble understanding who they really are at their core. What I bring to the table is I help you figure out who you really are. I help you unlock that scroll and open up that divine contract, because all of your mandates and your blueprints, all of your strategies and stratagems are in there for you to walk out into this life. And I mean really show up like you just know the frig you were supposed to be there. That's so friggin' attractive. And people love it. It's not arrogance. I'm not talking about arrogance or presumption. There's a humility that's based with it, because you're no longer trying to be someone else and you're no longer trying to copy somebody else. I remember when I first started preaching, I didn't know if I wanted to be like Juanita Bynum or T.D. Jakes or Benny Hinn, because I figured if I was just myself, nobody would listen. And so for a season there, I was kind of mimicking other people. You're at this stage in your life, and I certainly am, where we don't mimic anybody. We're just us. And either you're going to like us or you're not going to like us. But if we click, we're going to click. And we're going to have a friggin' fabulous time at it. So when you check your alignment You now know what it is you offer because you're 2 to 3 steps ahead, maybe sometimes 4 steps ahead of the person that's going to work with you as your soulmate client customer. And so you know how to bring a solution for them. You know how to tell them, okay, if you do these 3 things, or if you do these 4 or 5 things, or whatever it is, you know, the modalities of it are not important right now. It's just that you know what it is you're offering, and the people who are going to buy your services, the people who are going to make that energetic exchange monetarily with you for your service, because it's coming from their heart center place. They're going to resonate with it, and you're going to have solutions for them, and you're going to have such a blast at it. It's not even going to seem like work. And finally, tonight, if you do those 2 first things that I said, then you're going to attract your soulmate client and customers to you. And you're going to begin this, you know, deep, fulfilling relationship that could last, you know, for a very long time, because they're going to be so happy. And this is why it's important for you to continue to grow all the time and listen to other people. The best person in the world to be of a contribution and assistance to someone else is someone who always stays in the space of a student. And I would call them, in the Hebrew, it is called the Lamed. When you have that Lamed spirit, you learn to impart, and you always stay a student even when you're a teacher. Again, I love you guys very much. So the 3 things I wanted you to do tonight is to assess yourself, what it is you truly bring to the table as a contribution and service to your soulmate clients. I want you to align with what you bring to the table by now finding solutions. All right? Because we'll talk about that tomorrow. And that's going to help you to attract. Tomorrow night, we'll talk, which I'm going to give you tonight because, you know, I didn't do it last night. You're going to talk about where do you find these people? And you want to do it organically, by the way. This is not the stage or the point where you want to go and buy a list. Because I guarantee you, 99% of those people are not your clients. They're not your soulmate match. You might make money from them, but you're going to have such a problem, and you're going to have a high level of returns, because a lot of those people are not heart-centered, because that's the kind of people that you need to connect with if you're a spiritual entrepreneur. Those people are chasing the money. They're chasing the dollar, okay? And because they're chasing the dollar, they have all kind of mindsets and paradigms going on in their head. You know, I'll try your system, and because you have a 30-back guarantee, I'm going to give back the system. I'm going to say it just didn't work for me. And so even when you start to make your offers, you know, that's another thing you're going to have to put in place, where you can't just take that money and run off and go spend it. Because you're going to have a certain level of refunds, because you're always going to have a level of negativity people that show up in your space. Yes? Again, KingdomPreneurs, if you found that this video resonated with you, if you liked it at all, I please ask you to like and subscribe it on YouTube, like it, and please join the Facebook group, KingdomPreneur, Alchemy of Entrepreneurship and Wealth. Join us over there, because that's where I want to center everything concerning this. I post some of this in another group that I have. I'm sorry, but this is why I'm asking people to like and subscribe, if you're listening to me on YouTube. And even if you are listening to me on YouTube on that other channel, please go over to KingdomPreneur, Alchemy of Entrepreneurship and Wealth. Like and subscribe there. If you're listening on Facebook, join our Facebook group, again, of the same name, KingdomPreneur, Alchemy of Entrepreneurship and Wealth, and like it and join the group. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.